1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here. Today we're going to tackle the classic gospel song, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, in the key of G. I've got two solos for this song. The first one is absolutely basic single note melody, so really important to learn the basic melody before you add any extras, double stops, slides, hammer-ons. So we're going to go over the absolute note for note basic melody first, and then the second solo gets a little more advanced, but still probably within the realm of a beginner. Basically, we're going to take our single note melody and kind of bluegrassify it. So I'm going to take it, move it up to a different position, add some double stops, add some hammer-ons, add some more up and down picking. So we're just going to look at ways to kind of fill out and build up the melody, basically. So how do you take a single note melody and make it more interesting? So I'm going to break down the whole thing note for note and then show you a bunch of backup you can do for Will the Circle Be Unbroken. So we're going to talk two-finger chords, chop chords. I'm going to show you a couple different ways how I would play backup to this song. All right, here's Will the Circle Be Unbroken in the key of G. All right, let's start breaking down this single note melody to Will the Circle Be Unbroken. So let me play the first four measures and then I'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Let's do that a few times. One more. Okay, so we're going to start with our pickup on the D string. On beat 3, we're going to hit the open D string. And then with our first finger, our index finger of our left hand, we're going to play the second fret. So we're going to do two down strokes in a row. I'd follow the pick direction below the tab. The staple looking symbols are the down strokes. The V's are the ups. So for the single note version, we're going to use all downs. So we're going to play on beats 3 and 4. So count 1, 2, and then do two downs. 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we're going to reach our third finger up to the 5th fret of the D string. So all on that same string, we're going to play that note twice. And those are going to be half notes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that a few times. Couple more. 1, 2. Make sure you keep the pressure of your third finger down. Another thing to practice would be keeping your first finger down if you can, and not lifting it up when you put that 5th fret down. If you absolutely have to lift it up, you can, but it's good practice to try and keep it down. So get some really good tone there because we're going to need those notes to ring out. And then on beats 3 and 4 of measure 3, we're going to reach our first finger up to the 2nd fret of the A string and play 2 open on the A string. And then we're going to go back to that 5th fret on the D string, so you can keep your third finger down if you can. We're going to play that note, and then back up to the 2nd fret. So the timing of measures 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are the same. You play on beats 3 and 4, and then there's 2 half notes. So let's do the whole thing. Let's count it out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. The other thing you can do is kind of keep your right hand moving, just kind of keep the timing. I might do that even if I'm not touching the strings, kind of just keeping my right hand moving. That's also a good way to help keep the time. And then measure 5. We're going to walk down on beats 3 and 4 again, 2 open on the A string. So keep your first finger down, your first finger is down at the end of measure 4. You let that note ring out, and then on beats 3 and 4 of measure 5, we're going to walk down. And then 5th fret on the D string. And then on beats 3 and 4 of measure 6, we're going to play 5th string, D, open A string. So that sounds like this. So you got 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then measure 7s, 2 quarter notes on the 5th fret of the D string. So same timing, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then measure 8, 2nd fret on the D string, open D string. And that's 1, 2. You can see measure 8's got a dotted half note. So that gets 3 beats. So a dot adds half of the time. So you got a half note is 2 beats, plus the dot is 1 more quarter note. So you got 3 beats total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 through 8. So we got 1, 2. Let's do that a few times. 1, 2. It's also good practice on measure 6 of figuring out how to keep your 3rd finger down and still let that open A string ring out. You know, you need to find the correct angle so you don't mute that A string and you can play measure 6. So that's good practice. Measure 9, let's move on. We're going to walk back up our opening pickup line. So this is the same as measures 1 and 2. Beats 3 and 4. So that's all the same. Measure 11 on beats 3 and 4 again. We're going to play now 2nd fret on the A string. And then 3rd finger up to the 5th fret of the A string. That's on beats 3 and 4 again. So all downs. And then we got half notes, 5th fret. And then back to the 2nd fret. So keep your first finger down. That's kind of your anchor. You're using that to kind of keep yourself in position. So let's play 11 and 12 together. So we got 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the pressure down. Let's play 9 through 12. Here we go. 1, 2. And since this is single note melody, every note's melody note. So, you know, everything is in that we're playing is a melody note. So one more time. And then measure 13 on beats 3 and 4 again. Reach your 3rd finger back down to the 5th fret of the D string. 5th fret on the D string. Open A. And then 2nd fret on the A string. Half notes. And then here's our ending lick. Open A. And then 2 open on the A. And then back down to the 5th fret D. That's our G note. Let's do 13 through 16. So 1, 2. That's our ending lick. 1, 2. So let's do the whole single note melody from the top. 1, 2. Do a little faster. Alright, so that's the single note melody. Now let's look at adapting that to a bluegrass style solo. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of those notes and move them to different strings basically so we can play double stops and fill up the sound. So let me break that down now. Alright, so now that we've got the single note melody broken down, let's look at adapting that to a bluegrass style solo. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to find those notes on a different set of strings, so then we can play more notes at the same time. We can play what's called double stops, which is playing 2 notes at once. So let me play the first 4 measures of the bluegrass style solo, and then I'll break it down. Here we go. Okay, one more time. So we're going to start with our pickup. Instead of playing it down here, open and 2, we're going to play it up here. We're going to find that same note, our open. It's at the 7th fret of the G string now. And we're going to play a double stop. So I've got my second finger on 7, my first finger on 5. So that's my double stop. I'm going to play those notes twice. Instead of playing on beats 3 and 4, we're going to play 1 beat earlier. We're going to count 1 and then play that twice. And then play the 9th fret on the G string, which is our E note, our 2nd fret on the D string. So we're just finding those notes. We're finding them down here on a lower string, and then we can play double stops. So 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, all downs, remember. And then keep your first finger down on the 5th fret. Instead of playing half notes like we did, we're going to fill it up now with picking. So we're going to do down, up, picking all the way through. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Stay in this position right here. So we got 1,